As the people of the United States of America struggle with the economic downturn in the wake of Wall Street's mortgage-backed security fraud and the ever higher costs of wars on other countries, 40 million Americans are now depending on food stamps in order to be able to eat. That's 1 out of every 7 Americans is dependent on food stamps. But in many parts of the country, the food stamps are not sufficient to see through the entire month, and as a result, many school children are going to school hungry. Here's how one community is trying to deal with the situation.
My name is Sarah Beebe, and I'm the pastoral assistant here at IAA United Methodist Church. Our church has always been very devoted to trying to help the needs of the local homeless and working poor. When Sister Ruth started their Good Samaritan ministry, they reached out to us and said, "We know you've been working with the poor. What have you been doing? How could we grow things?" After meeting and having some wonderful meetings, we discovered that together we could probably help a lot more. We've always worked with the IAA Elementary School, and we've talked to them about some of our needs. Sister Ruth came up with the food bag concept. The program itself helps, I believe, around 50 kids. Our church provides half of those bags, so around 25.
Jim White, I'm the senior pastor of IAA United Methodist Church. Our church has had a special relationship with IAA Elementary for quite a few years. Meaning the kids come to school, they don't even have footwear. And so we would start doing slipper drives, donated to the school, and then throughout the year they just give them away to kids when they come with nothing on their feet. You know, the majority of the kids that go to IAA Elementary School, towards the end of the month, they can't go home and just open the fridge, and most of the times they eat are when they're at school, when they have a meal. And so just making people aware of that. I think people have a heart to want to help, but a lot of times maybe we're just so focused on our daily routines of doing what we usually do that, as you said, there's the blindness that we're just not aware that the need. Well, for the keiki bags, the main thing would be financial support, and we have folks in the congregation that do go out get the shopping. Once a month we'll put the bags together and help distribute them, and so we're always looking for people with that.
We're hearing from the House of Representatives a push to cut back on social services, including food stamps, even more, so that they can maintain the budget at the Pentagon. What is your response to that?
The challenge is, as a nation, where do we put our, where are we putting our eggs that we have in the basket, so to speak? And I think there has to be a balance between, it's important to make sure that the country is safe, but I think if the people if there's a significant number of people that are not getting some of the basic human services, I think we need to re-look at where the figures are going. And so I'm not saying get rid of all military funding, but I think education, food, housing, decent housing, those are all things that any nation needs to be putting resources into.
Oh, my name is Noeline, and I'm here because I love the children. I teach Sunday school, preschool class.
Oh, wonderful.
So anything that I can do for children, I will do.
I'm Pam Rogowski, and
I love children.
I'm Nat Stragami.
My name is Sister Ruth. I am here in St. Elizabeth as director of the Good Samaritan Ministry. Every week, what we do is we have food pantry distribution. We started this out because we found that in Aiya district we have nowhere who really takes care of this need. We were trying to see where we could fill the gap. Making snack bag for the children is really helpful, they said. Along with Gary Okino and Father Tom, we went to meet Pastor Jim to see where we can work together. We came to know that the IAEA school need lots of help. So we went to meet the principal and the counselors there, and they told us that many of the children come to school hungry, and that the teachers have to put some food supply in their classroom. So we said, okay, we go ahead with this, and we told the counselor, give us 50 names, and then we will be giving the 50 children, we said. And they gave us 57 names. They said they cannot help. They have to give us 57 names.
When I used to go for a walk on the trail, I found so many of these homeless people under the bridges, in the bushes, and so I sort of asked our ex-councillor Gary Okino to get a few people and make a study about how we can be of help to them. And that is how I began. My plan is to put 10% of our income for this ministry. So in fact, that is what we are doing. Financially, definitely, we need a lot of help. The parish has been very generous.
One of the comments we heard when we were talking to some of the other people around here really cut to the heart of the issue, I think. And they said, on TV we see all these commercials about feed the children of Africa, feed the children of India. Why are we not seeing more commercials on TV saying we have hungry children right here and now? I think it's 1.5 million homeless children in America right now. And it almost seems like in our desire to reassure ourselves that we're still a superior culture, that we want to look at the poor and needy in other countries but not in our own neighborhoods. What is your response to that?
I agree with you perfectly. After all, charity begins at home. We are not saying that we should not reach out to children elsewhere and poor elsewhere, but we need to take care of our own poor first. That is my personal opinion.
What I am starting to do is we organize it by classroom, which then we call the students out by classroom, and then they come with their backpacks so we can carefully put it in the backpack, and then hopefully we have it all arranged so it makes it go a little bit easier.
So there's a flow, there's a process.
Hopefully.
Particular school, how many children would you estimate are food insecure who really need this? Just to guess.
We have free and reduced about 85 to 87%.
You basically are seeing 85% of your student population is undergoing food insecurity?
I was just going to go ask Dean to verify that, but yes, we have about 85 to 87% of free and reduced lunches. They're asking us, do we have a snack bag this week? So they're really very appreciative. Come on over here. All right. Was it good? Remember how we do this before? Line. We're going to make a line. Yes. Can I have you take your backpack off and put it right over here? Because I know these are going to be heavy for you guys. What room is this?
Right now, the House of Representatives is openly discussing cutting social services, including food stamp funding, in order to basically protect the Pentagon budget. In other words, letting the kids go hungry so they can buy a bigger bomb to drop on children on the other side of the planet. I mean, what's your reaction to that?
We need to feed our kids.
I can totally understand that the budgets have to be cut, but our children need to eat.
We annually spend on military security alone more than the net income of all United States corporations. Now, this conjunction of an immense military establishment and a large arms industry is new in the American experience. The total influence, economic, political, even spiritual, is felt in every city, every state house, every office of the federal government. We recognize the imperative need for this development, yet we must not fail to comprehend its grave implications. Our toil, resources, and livelihood are all involved. So is the very structure of our society. In the councils of government, we must guard against the acquisition of unwarranted influence, whether sought or unsought, by the military-industrial complex. The potential for the disastrous rise of misplaced power exists and will persist. We must never let the weight of this combination endanger our liberties or democratic processes.